So thank you very much for joining our breakout room today to hear about how your firm can access untapped potential from underrepresented young talent. You'll be hearing from a variety of speakers on what the early careers workstream has been up to over the past year, with a particular focus being on our investment and savings industry springboard that we launched in collaboration with the social mobility charity Upreach. It should hopefully give you a good feel for the springboard from a variety of different angles. So whether that's from a student's perspective, a mentor's, or even a firm's. Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the fact that there are lots of great diversity initiatives going on at the moment, and just to put ours into context. So the collaboration with Upreach came about from a want to encourage high potential university students into front office, asset management and consulting roles. TAB focused on Black talent, whilst Investment 2020 focused primarily on school leavers and not solely on front office roles. All of these initiatives combined are working towards a common goal of creating a larger and more diverse talent pipeline. So who are we targeting for this springboard? Well, essentially it's motivated students who are interested in a career in the investment industry. They have to meet Upreach's criteria. And on this slide, we've got a summary of the first year cohort. Things that stood out to me are that we've managed to reach students from 36 different universities across the UK. That would be a near impossible task for any one firm going out alone. 72% of BAME students and 3/4 of the first in their family to attend university. We had 100 students on our pilot programme, and I'm really pleased to share the success of it with you today and to let you know that we're increasing numbers significantly to a total of 170 students for next year. So that will include continued support of students already on the programme, but also an onboarding of 85 new students. I'm just going to finish off by giving a very brief overview of what the programme entails. Each student is paired with a mentor in the industry to help with application support and interview technique, for example. They attend several events throughout the year, and all of these things should help equip them with the necessary investment knowledge, soft skills, but also confidence to be successful in getting an internship or a graduate role in the future. We also provide a 1-week work experience placement at a member firm to give them a real flavour of what it's like to work in the industry. I'll now hand over to Lee from Upreach, who'll provide you with some detail on positive outcomes we've seen from the springboard.
Thanks, Emma. I really wanted to give a flavour today of both how engaged students have been in the pilot programme and also the successes we've seen so far. So starting on engagement, the main message is that students have really made the most of the opportunity to connect and work with a professional mentor in the industry. We've seen a fantastic 607 mentoring interactions take place over the past academic year, which exceeded our expectations. These sessions have been of real practical benefit to the students. 260 CVs and applications have been reviewed during these sessions, and there have been 71 interactions preparing students for assessment centres and interviews. And I think altogether these mentoring sessions have really raised awareness and understanding of the sector and introduced students to new companies they may not have encountered before. We've been happy to see 438 applications to diversity project supporter firms and did in fact see a relationship between firms who engage more in the programme receiving a high amount of applications. Moving on then to successes, all of this engagement has resulted in some great successes on the programme so far. We saw a high proportion of students make an application to the industry, and this is significant, especially given how many were first years and joined the programme to explore the sector and see if it was the right fit for them. When they did apply, 99% felt applications were improved by virtue of the support they had received from their mentor, from programme events, and from Upreach resources. At the end, we were happy to see 41% of the students obtaining spring weeks and internships. And when you factor in the work experience that we put on as part of the programme, this rises to 87%. We saw successes at BlackRock, St James's Place, Wellington, Willis Towers Watson, Aviva Investors and Goldman Sachs. And I'm going to hand over to Joshua, who was one student on the programme who achieved a summer internship. Josh.
Thanks for that, Lee. As Lee briefly mentioned, I was part of the investment and savings springboard over the past 12 months. I was paired with my mentor, Andrew, from St. James's Place. And actually, thanks to all the work that Upreach and my mentor helped me with, I managed to secure 2 summer internships this year, one with the Aviva Connections programme and one in the investment management office at St. James's Place. The experience overall has been completely invaluable. I'm confident that I've matured and developed, and then as well as grown my professional standing and potential. Having a mentor was such a unique opportunity, allowing me to become sort of the best candidate I could be. But for me, it was the human aspect of the pairing that helped the most. Like I know many others in my situation, it was uncommon for me to have that professional exposure growing up. Be that conversations about current events or market movements or discussing the nature of different roles in the financial sector. If I had to culminate it together, I'd say it's knowing that I have as much right to go into the sector as anyone else, and that it's going to be on my merit alone that my applications will be judged.
I'm Richard. I mentored Aaron through the Springboard and absolutely loved it. There was lots I got from mentoring, but to pick up on something Joshua just said then, I think my favourite part was the industry conversations. It was just really fun to chat through things with Aaron. Often he would suggest something that had been in the news that I hadn't seen or hadn't had time to read, and we talk it through the different points of view, and I think we both learned things from those, which was great. And I would take that into my day-to-day conversations at work, and it was really rewarding. So I thoroughly recommend mentoring to anyone who's interested.
And from a firm perspective, I mean, by all accounts, it's really been a fantastic program for LCP. We've seen numerous benefits, including a huge change to our talent pipeline, which we couldn't have achieved on our own. It's challenged our thinking around graduate recruitment generally, not just within investment, but across the entire business. And it's just been a hugely rewarding experience for everyone involved at LCP, especially the mentors. And of course, all of this on top of the obvious rewards around doing our part as a responsible business to improve access for disadvantaged youth in our industry. So overall, we were extremely impressed with the Springboard program and what's been achieved, and we look forward to continuing our partnership.
Great. So I hope, having heard from each of our speakers just now, you'll agree with me how worthwhile this Springboard has been, and it really is something worth getting involved in. I'll leave this slide up as we go into the Q&A, highlighting the areas in which we need your continued support, please. So whether it's by offering up mentors and work experience places at your firms, or getting involved in virtual events and speaking to the early careers workstream on your recruitment processes. But to wrap up, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been involved to make this Springboard such a success. It was fantastic to see how quickly we're able to adapt to this new world we're living in, taking the work experience virtual and showing the students how quick to respond the industry and member firms can be. So a big thank you to everyone, and we now look forward to answering any questions that you have.